Okay, everybody. There we go. All right, well, let's get this party started, shall we? My name is Harlequin Murray, and I am your co-host this evening. For those of you who have not attended one of our events previously, welcome. We appreciate you coming. But I get to be the person to introduce our speaker, who is our senior team leader, Miss Ellen Winn. And for those of you who have not been on here before, let me just tell you a little bit about her background so you know where she's coming from. She grew up on her family's farm in Dallas, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta. But she spent over 25 years in the restaurant industry, and her last 8.5 years were in corporate, and she was in upper management with Domino's Pizza. She was a training director and senior operations director for the state of Georgia. So a lot of experience there. Whenever she left Domino's in 1997, she started her own restaurant brand, and she's been a business owner ever since. Now, she was introduced to network marketing in 2002, and she has built massive teams over the years and helped tens of thousands of people along the way. But I met her back in about 2005. And at the time, she was the national training director for a network marketing company. And she was a partner in a huge training center here in the Atlanta area. But Ellen, she loves helping people and she loves training. So we're very fortunate that we have her as part of our team. But she is an area director with DAC and a one-star executive in our residual pay plan with longevity. And she's helped our team to become one of the fastest growing and largest producing team in DAC. But without further ado, let me go ahead and let Miss Ellen Winn take it over.
All right.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Harlequin. I appreciate that. I appreciate all you do for the team. Those of you that have Harlequin as your team leader, as if you're in her organization, you're very fortunate. Harlequin has been agent of the month in the past, and she's always actively available and working with her team. So thank you. Appreciate that. And welcome to all of you that this is your first time joining us on a team Zoom. I do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. It's an opportunity for us to see each other face to face, so to speak. And you guys hear from me, my perspective, any Q&A that we do at the end. I always go through our team recognition, top performers, and then I have different training topics that we talk on each week. So grab a pen and paper if you don't already have one. We've got some good information to cover tonight. But first, let me get us into screen share mode so that I can bring up the top producers, as I usually do, go through team recognition. Now, this team recognition is all about recruiting. Recruiting is the lifeblood of our business, but make no mistake about it. When we talk about recruiting, it's just a expansion model or a means of expanding our business. Our business only generates income for you or I or for the company if we're bringing clients to the table. But as we're bringing new agents to the table, it gives us the ability to have a broader reach into our local communities to spread the word about DAC. So let's get into our top recruiters for the week of the 17th through the 23rd of February. In our first position there, I'm not surprised to see her yet again. Katina Willis with 15 new recruits for the week in first place. Congratulations again, Katina. In second place, just like last week, her enroller, Eric Johnson, came in second with 5 new recruits for the week. Third place, John Nevada, coming up with 4 new recruits for the week. Congratulations, John. In fourth place, we have a 4-way tie. We have Teresa Fletcher, whose name is highlighted in green. That means that Teresa has just started. This is she had 2 recruits for the week, but this is one of 2, is her first recruiting venture ever with DAC. So if you see the name highlighted in green, it's the first time they've brought a new agent on board. Congratulations, Teresa, for not 1, but 2 new recruits for the week. Cheryl Henderson also had 2. Denitra Jackson and Anna Springer each had 2 new recruits for the week. So congratulations to those of you who made it to the left side of the leaderboard. On the right side of the leaderboard, with 1 recruit each, we have Robert Aitchison, Craig Becker, Eric Brooks, David Bryant, Eugene Clapp, Kathy Colbert or Colbert, I'm not sure which way to pronounce that, Lamont Davenport, Michael Edmondson, Megan Evans, Sherrill or JC Evans, Felicia Gray, Sharon Hill, Julius Jones, Rodnisha McMillan, Kelvin Miles, Debbie Morris, Jamal Registe, Gina Robinson, Chris Bartalis, Ray Tommy, Christopher Turner, Cedric Wilson, myself. I have PCP, Prime Choice Partners LLC, is how I operate rather than through my social. Vernetta Winston and Maurice Wright. Congratulations to all of you guys for having 1 new enrolled agent for the week. And especially I want to say congratulations to Maurice Wright. Maurice has been in the hospital for months. He's been going through recovery and rehab, fighting MS, and so proud that I hear him talking from his hospital bed, hospital room, talking about DAC and bringing in new agents. So way to go, Mo. Real proud of you, buddy. Glad to see you back in the game with us. All right, so testimonial of the week. This week, you know, Harlequin and I were talking about so many different things that we have going on with our new line of credit and some of the conversations that she's been having. She and I both are members. We share a joint membership with the local Atlanta, Greater Atlanta Home Builders Association. We shared in the cost of that membership, so we're both available and able to go to all of their different functions. Well, Harlequin is a networking queen. She loves going to all of these meetings. I don't have the time. I'm so busy with my other business. So she goes and represents for both of us, representing David Allen Capital, but she gives me updates on it. And this past week, she's had some great conversations from those meetings and some great referral conversations, but one in particular that she wanted to share with you tonight. So I'm going to let Harlequin have the floor back for a moment to share what you wanted to share with the team on your testimonial.
Okay. Well, first off, one thing that I will tell you is it's not just the Home Builders Association. Everybody needs to go and look up in their local area and just do a Google search on business associations and see what you have in your area. Because one of these contacts that I have that I'm going to tell you about came from a business association business expo that was free to attend. You don't have to join the organization. You can still go to their expos because they're trying to get business for their companies. So that's a good tip right there. But anyways, through the Home Builders Association, I have several contractors and builders who are interested in the line of credit. I had talked to them previously about the working capital and they weren't interested in that, but they're calling me back and trying to track me down on the lines of credit. So, but one of the ones that was especially interesting was I met a banker at the Business Expo, and he referred me to a company. It's a physical therapy company. And with that organization, they were looking for a line of credit and the banks don't offer it, at least not without collateral and not without 2 years of business tax returns. But this particular one of the reasons why Ellen wanted me to point this out, they're doing between $30,000 and $40,000 a month in revenue. But get this, folks, their accounts receivable, now this is mostly from insurance companies, money that they're waiting on from those insurance companies, is $189,000, which is almost 6 months of their revenue that they have been waiting on to get. You know, it's work they've already done and they're just not getting paid like they should. So they're looking for a line of credit to keep them going until they can get that money collected. But I would highly recommend, if you have any contacts in the medical arena, go and talk to them because they're hurting.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Harlequin. And guys, that's where a lot of times a business owner thinks that just because you have a business or you're doing a significant amount of revenue every month, they think that you've got it made. Well, listen, that $189,000 is money that is not in their account, but their expenses, their payroll, their utility costs, their rent, all of those things that go along with running a traditional business are still due, and their landlord and utility companies and so on are all expecting to be paid and not waiting until that particular business gets money from their account. So I'm going to go back to share screen now and take off that. Thank you, Harlequin. One other thing I want to point out on what she said was they're open to the line of credit. It is a great lead in, because here's what happens. Whenever you submit a line of credit client to DAC, you go through, and I want to point this out specifically because I've got a lot of new people that are coming in. They're reading their welcome email from corporate, and it says, here is your main website for all of your business capital, payment processing, customer financing. I think they're about to add line of credit. I asked that question today. It hasn't been updated, but it will get updated. But they're just sending you that davidallencapital.com/ your ID number. Well, send them directly to your line of credit page in your website. I'm going to be on your website in a second, and I'll show you how to do that. But man, that when you send someone through that line of credit application, our internal team is going to take that application, which is the one-page application. Hopefully it'll be live tomorrow. We're going to take 3 months bank statements, a copy of a voided check, and a copy of driver's license, which is the exact same documentation that they need to apply for funding. So even though those business owners are excited about applying for a line of credit, our team internally is going to do the application for the line of credit, but they're also going to see if they can get them qualified for a funding offer and be able to present both. They can say no, but the business owner needs to know that that opportunity exists for them. So you're going to be able to get more fundings along the way just because we have an offer and it's attractive to them, and maybe they'll go ahead and take that working capital in addition to that line of credit in many cases. And we had one recently where the business applied for the line of credit. They applied for funding. They weren't qualified for funding, but we were able to get them approved for the line of credit. Now, normally that's not going to work because the line of credit is a little bit harder process. But in this particular case, that was what happened. And that was something that was shared last week. One thing I want to announce is a reminder that the auto engaged incentive is still in play. Today's the last day of February, but it's been extended through the end of next month, which is our first quarter. So anybody that you recruit, if you're recruiting agents, if you're past your first 60 days as an agent, you have fallen out of that auto engaged status that everyone, when you're brand new, you sign up as a new agent, you're considered engaged for your first 60 days. What does that mean? That means that you will get paid on new agents that you recruit, that enroller bonus, whether you've had a funding or not. That's that first 60 days. After your first 60 days, you have to start having funding clients of your own to be eligible to earn your enroller bonus and overrides on your team. So David has put this auto engaged incentive here for those of you who've been in the business more than 60 days, who are wanting to build a team or are building a team, but don't have a funded client that has you considered engaged in the compensation plan. So recruit. We need to be on a massive recruiting race right now to bring in new agents, because as I said, opening up, this is the lifeblood of our business. Recruit, because anybody that you recruit, whether you're engaged or not, you're still going to earn that enroller bonus and be eligible for it during their first 30 days in the business because of this auto engaged incentive. So get out there, recruit some new agents, and help grow your business as well as DAC agency. We also have our preferred client working capital plan that is still available through the end of March. Hopefully they'll continue offering that, but right now all we know is through the end of March, so first quarter for that as well. And then tomorrow night, I don't have a slide for this, but as I'm making announcements, I need to make sure you understand tomorrow night is the first Tuesday of the month. And what does that mean? Well, at 8 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to have a David Allen Capital business opportunity presentation where David, our company founder, is going to go live, do the business presentation similar to what you see on the partner page, but he's going to do new slide presentation because we've added our line of credit since the last presentation. And he's also going to update the sequence, the application sequence, because we're going to be in a live environment with that one-page application. So I look forward to seeing that new presentation tomorrow night. It's a great opportunity for you to invite some guests to come take a look at David Allen Capital, hear from the founder himself. And then at the end of the presentation, you'll be able to do Q&A with David, and your guest will specifically, not you as an agent. It's not a training opportunity, but it's for an opportunity for your guest to ask questions to the founder of the company if they see anything that they would like to hear his input on. So great opportunity to grow your business. Simply do an invitation. Hey, I've got an opportunity. Or do you keep your options open for making money outside of what you're currently doing? If they say yes, say great. I'm working with the company I'm super excited about. The founder of the company is doing a live Zoom meeting tomorrow night at 8 p.m. I'd like to invite you to come join us, and you can have an opportunity to talk with him one-on-one. Some kind of short invitation like that. Don't tell the story, let the story speak for itself, but do the invitation. And then if they can't make it live, you can say, no worries, I'll get the recording and I'll send you a link to the recording. And then you can send them a link over to your website, right? So the point is just make the invitation, get the word out that you'd like someone to check out what we have going. And then tomorrow night, again, after the 8 o'clock presentation, immediately followed by our 9 o'clock training, we will be going through more training on the line of credit. And if that one-page application is live, David is planning on training on that tomorrow as well. So make sure that you're making plans to attend Tuesday, the first Tuesday of the month, 8 p.m. Eastern, starting. Both are going to be at daczoom.com, daczoom.com. Okay. All right. So tonight's training topics, I want to go through. David touched today on our leadership call. He did a real brief call. So he mentioned that we have new healthcare plans available. I want to go through on our website, show you where those are, show you where the brochures are. We will be having an upcoming training that will be in depth about those healthcare plans, but I just want to point out where everything is so that you can go through and read it on your own if you're interested, whether it's interested in a healthcare plan for yourself or if you want to promote it and share it with either individuals or business owners. Okay. I'm going to go through the updated compensation PDF, show you a couple of changes that have been made to that. And then we're going to talk real briefly about today being the end of the month, and are you qualified to earn residuals, and how you can be, even though it's the last day of the month, how you can get yourself qualified if you've got an opportunity to make some earnings there. Okay, so here is our DAC healthcare website. It's just dachealthcare.com/your ID number. There used to be a big video on the page. Now this is the landing page. When you go to the website, you have 3 different clickable images here. 2 of them go to the same place. These first 2 go to the same page. This third one goes to our group plan. So it's just an advertisement page, basically showing you that we have a 24-hour virtual care plus program for $39.95 a month. It's virtual care plus dental and vision for $39.95 a month. Okay. And then we have our Sovereign Nations Insurance. We used to say that this was a healthcare plan, which was controlled by ERISA, which is the federal government, and not by states, which is controlled by our insurance agencies or insurance commission in each state. And unless you had an insurance license, we weren't able to say we have an insurance product. But this is offered by sovereign nations, and because of their status as Native American insurance company, there are less restrictions there. I don't know the ins and outs, and I may be misstating that, but That'll be covered in training as to why they can market it as an insurance plan, and we can be referral agents without having to be licensed. And then we have our SBA Freedom Plan. So let's go over and take a look at the actual website. Again, this is your own website with your name. I've got my ID number at the end here, and it shows referred by Ellen Winn, my email address, and my phone number. Okay, so I go through and I click on this. It's going to take me over to the SBA Freedom Protect. When you go through, you're going to just be able to download the PDFs of each one of those, download it, save it to your computer, open it up, read about it, where we've got the virtual care, the Plan Plus, and then the MESA plan. All right, so those are the sovereign nation plans. If you go back over here and you click on the SBA for business, that's going to take you over to our SBA Freedom Protect. And they've changed the name on here to FMA, which is free market, FMA, free market. Goodness, I forget what that is, but that's what the FMA is. It's our free market association, I think is what the A stands for. And that is who administrators, free market administrators. I should know, I have my own plan through them, and that's what it says on the card and the emails and the membership website. But that's virtually the same website that we had. The plans have changed a little bit. So if you're interested in looking at those, then just go to your website, check it out, take a look, and see what we have available. Okay, so just touching on the healthcare to show you that we have something different there. Let's go on over to our Agent Resource Center, where I still want to point out the new PDF documents. Okay, here on the PDFs, we have under video number 3, which is the compensation plan. You got a compensation plan videos that take you through the actual chart that I want to click on here. So if you click on chart, it opens up a drive link where you can look at the comp plan online, or you can download it, print it out, put it in a notebook like I have here on my desk at all times. But before I go over to that chart, I want to point out a couple other things here in the Agent Resource Center. If you're new, and I hear this all the time, I ask people, have you gone through the required training? And they go, yeah, I've watched all the videos. Well, they're watching videos all over the place. They're watching YouTube videos and Vimeo channel videos. And they're finding videos that agents have created, but doesn't mean that they've necessarily gone through the required training. So pointing out to you that the required trainings are video number 1, video number 2, and video number 3. If you have not gone through those, you have not completed the required training that is necessary for you to complete before you start having conversations with clients, so that you understand how our program works and understand the value in the marketplace that we offer to the clients, and a basic understanding of how our products work. To have a cheat sheet of how our products work, if you go to business funding section in the Agent Resource Center, this number 1 and number 2 link, there are 2 PDFs that you can print out, and you've got a 2-page document on the business funding. It's a quick reference sheet showing you Bank Breezy versus DAC funding, and then all the notification processes for each of those products. And then our new line of credit, we have a PDF sheet there that shows you what the qualifications are and what the payback terms are, and the whole process there for the line of credit. So you got a great cheat sheet in front of you. When all else fails, I say look at your website. If you don't have a cheat sheet in front of you, look at the website, because it's pretty self-explanatory on any of the products that you want to market. Now, I mentioned that we have our own websites, and I want to do that before I go into that PDF. Let me go over here and open up DAC real quick. And I'm opening up on the actual DAC site. So if you're marketing, instead of just davidallencapital.com, if you're sending someone to the line of credit website, you have all of these different menus across the top of the page, right? If you're looking at it on a mobile device, then you're going to need to hit your little hamburger menu here. So it'll give you a drop down menu like this on a mobile device where you can go in. It's the same tabs that you have across the top, but the mobile version is just a drop down menu. But when you're going to send someone to line of credit, you open up that tab, you add your agent ID number to the end of that link, and then copy and paste. Copy and paste just like that. Copy it and paste it and send it in an email or a text message or through Facebook Messenger, whatever medium you're going to use. Okay. If you're wanting to send them to customer financing, send them to this link, right? Customer financing / add your ID number, and then you're sending them the page that is specific to the topic that you've been discussing with that particular client. Okay, so enough on the website. Let's go back over to, let me get off of those. Go back over to the compensation plan chart. Okay, so we have that, you know where this is. We go to the chart and it opens up that link for the Google Drive document. Now, the compensation plan has not changed with a couple of exceptions. David has enhanced and improved the payout for the healthcare product, and he's also improved the payout on the how we get paid on agents in our team. So it's all healthcare related. That means that we can now get paid on agents and we can get paid on our own healthcare plan. That was not the case before. So I've blown up this compensation document and I want to go down to a couple of pages in there specifically. This is the one that has been updated right here, the healthcare QVBV chart. And this shows you all of the new plans that we have. It shows you what the qualifying volume is in this first column. It shows you what the bonus volume is in the second column, and then it shows you how the QVBV counts. Monthly, it gets updated at the end of each month. It's already updated in the system right now for any customers that you have in your organization, either personally or someone on your team has. And then it shows you what the agent commission is. That agent commission is the dollar that gets paid to the agent who's actually responsible for personally bringing that client on board. So we now count as retail customers with healthcare. So a healthcare on a, let me find what I have. I have the group agent individual plan. It's 75 qualifying volume, is 30 bonus volume, and now it pays out $15 as a retail customer each month. There was no money in the comp plan for agents who were enrolled in that group payout, but now that has been changed. So I'm super excited to see that. There's more money in it for those of you that are actively working towards bringing healthcare clients to the table. Also, I want to scroll up here to the previous page on this same document. David has added the business line of credit, showing how that works with a good explanation of how a client gets funding, what the dollar amount is, how the drawdown works, and how we get paid about 30% of whatever that drawdown is. I'm not going to train on that. There's training on it specifically. I'm just wanting to show you where this document is, okay? And again, it shows you the qualifying volume, the bonus volume column, how it counts during the month of the draw, and how you're going to get paid. You're going to get paid at 3 or 6% base based on whether you are amped up or not. And then the additional bonuses, if you're at least engaged and you can earn those team overrides, then you can earn that extra 0.6, 0.9, or 1.8% on your own fundings or drawdowns on the line of credit. And I think that was the only thing I wanted to show you on here that had been enhanced. Yeah, he's got a better explanation of the customer financing here. So every service that we market, there's a little bit better explanation on this page than there was previously. Okay, one more thing I want to show you on this document, and then I'm going to take you back over. I mentioned it's the end of the month. So are you qualified to earn residual income? This is the residual income chart in that compensation document. This shows your compensation plan summary combination of DAC and our partnership with Longevity. So remember, every funding that you get paid on, those upfront, fast, quick bonuses, advances that we get when we have a client that gets funded, it also puts money into the residual compensation plan. So if there is a 300 qualifying volume, then it means 150 bonus volume goes into the comp plan. What does that mean? If 150 bonus volume is in the comp plan and you're eligible to earn, you would earn either 5% or 8% of 150. That would be the actual dollar payout. So I've got some slides here I want to go through to show you a little bit better detail on how that works. So keep in mind, this chart, you can reference it in the compensation plan, but I'm going to go through some real basic explanations of how the residual comp plan works. Okay. So here you are, you start your business. If you're working by yourself and you have not started building a team, then this residual plan really doesn't apply to you, other than earning on those retail customers that you're going to earn anyway. If they're your personal customers, you earn any retail profits that get paid every month. But to earn overrides on your team, you have to have qualifying volume. Here we go. Here you are, and let's say, okay, we opened up with Harlequin introducing me, right? I personally enrolled Harlequin. So Harlequin is level 1 to me in my organization. She's on my front line, level 1, my direct enrollee, right? Now, Harlequin's on level 1. Anybody that she personally enrolls is on level 2 for me, but level 1 to her. Does that make sense? So here it is again, me at the top, here's Harlequin, and anybody Harlequin recruits will be here on her first level, but my second level. Anybody that they recruit will be on my third level, will be on their first level, and Harlequin's second level, but my third level. Does that make sense? Maybe confusing you adding the different ones, but as a new level recruits and another level recruits, it puts them further away in your organization. But I'm showing you 4 levels here because I want to show you how easy it is to get to earning on at least 4 levels deep in your organization. So back to that compensation chart on the residuals. All of our DAC services, other than funding, are going to get paid through our partnership with Longevity, including those funding residuals where it puts bonus volume into the compensation plan. So if you have customer finance clients, payment processing clients, healthcare, telecom, DAC Protect, and now I need to add our new line of credit. All of that's going to put volume into the compensation plan where you can earn a monthly check. It gets paid on the 15th of every month for the previous closing month. So today's February the 28th. All the volume that comes through your business closes out at midnight Pacific Standard Time tonight, which is 3 a.m. Eastern Time, and they take a snapshot of that business. The good news is all of the business related stuff from fundings and DAC Protect, all of the stuff that came through on the DAC side of the house, those are locked in on during the month that it actually took place. But when I show you what you can do to get qualified, if you could qualify by having an order through Longevity, a nutritional order, they can backdate those. So you could even order tomorrow on the Longevity side with products only, not DAC services, products through Longevity. You could order it and have it backdated to February the 28th to qualify for residuals. Okay. So here's how it works. Longevity ranks, and this is what the residuals are paid on. For you to be eligible to earn on your first level or anybody else in your team, you have to have at least 50 personal points. Those points can come through DAC. Everything that we market has qualifying volume points attached to it, and it's on that compensation document that I covered. But for you to be eligible to earn anything on your team, you have to personally have at least 50 qualifying points, right? And then that's going to make you eligible to get paid on level 1, your personally enrolled agents, and level 2, which is their personally enrolled agents. All right. If you have 100 points instead of 50 points, that bumps you up to the title of brand associate, and it also increases your payout on your first and second levels of your organization from 5% to 8%. So as a brand associate, if you have 100 points personally, has nothing to do with anybody in your team producing anything, but you personally having 100 points, now you're going to make 8% on your personally enrolled agents, 8% on their personally enrolled agents, and it adds a third level. So you make 7% on their personally enrolled agents. Okay, so a lot of difference there in your potential earnings between just having 50 points as an associate or 100 points as a brand associate. The next level, which is me showing you the 4 levels that I started out with earlier, is getting to sales associate. To get to sales associate, this is the first rank in the compensation plan that requires you to have any team structure. Just like with DAC and our funding compensation, you can get to DAC 4 on your own merits, on your own efforts and bringing clients to the table. For you to get to DAC AD, DAC AD, ND, RD, etc. For you to move through those ranks, you have to have team structure, and your team has to be producing. So same thing here on the residual side, but a whole lot less production required to get to sales associate. So here you need 150 personal points, and you need to have 3 frontline teams that are producing. So what does it look like? Well, it will look like you having 150 points, and then you have 3 frontline agents that each have at least 50 in personal qualifying volume points on your first level. And that makes you sales associate. And once you get to sales associate, then you're earning on those 4 levels instead of just 1 or 2, or just 1, 2, or 3. Okay. So until you start having a bigger organization growing, those numbers don't make that much of a difference. But I just wanted to point that out. Or as I said, we're here at the end of the month, and I want to make sure that you're thinking about that. As you're a business owner here with DAC, you got to think about where you are stage wise in the month. I know we talk about this business that's trying to collect on accounts that they have accounts receivable that they haven't collected on. I guarantee you they're focused every single day on trying to get money in that is due to them, right? Especially as they're closing out the end of the month. I know with my limousine company, if I have anything on my books that I've not run charges on, I don't have clients that really get in arrears with me. I have credit cards on file with most of my clients, or I send them an invoice, but I always make sure that whatever business was done during that month gets closed out that month. And I just will send a friendly reminder. I'll say, hey, I still have an open invoice for you. Check your email. I'm resending that invoice for you to pay online. And they pay me like that. But being within that current calendar month is important. Same thing with our business here with DAC. It's important that you stay on top of your business as you get to month end, so you're not missing out on residuals. I see people in the organization that have a lot of business going on in their group, but you're that person that's above everybody may not have a funding, so they're not paying attention. But just because you don't have a funding doesn't mean you can't get a residual check, but you got to pay attention to how the compensation plan works. Okay, so that's really what I wanted to cover tonight. I want to open it up and see if we've got any questions, comments, concerns. Harlequin, I see you have your hand up. What do you have, Harlequin?
Well, the reason why I have my hand up is you forgot to mention a thing that the volume goes up if somebody is not active. So if you have a bunch of volume on your team and you haven't gotten any volume yourself, everybody moves up a level.
Yeah, it's called dynamic compression.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so that's another reason to keep in touch with people that are on your team, because you may have somebody that goes inactive, and you want to keep in touch with the people that are active down below, because their volume will move up in the comp plan.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's actually, if you go into your back office, the longevity back office, where you have to log in with your agent ID and password, If you'll go to the menu across the top, there's one under, I think it's under genealogy. The very last item on that menu says My Qualifications. And when you click on that, it opens up a page and it shows you what that compressed 3-level volume is that Harlequin just talked about. Because a lot of times I'll have volume several levels deep in my organization, and I look at that total volume, and then I go look at my compressed volume, and my compressed volume is usually not too far off of what my total organization volume is, because there are so many people in between that are missing out on money because they don't have at least 50 points, and someone underneath them has volume and it just flows right on through them as if they weren't there, compresses up to that next level. So look at that. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I encourage you to go watch the compensation plan, and don't just watch it, just be a student and be a sponge and absorb what David is saying and really listen. So many times we have multiple things going on, we're multitasking, and we're really not focused on what's happening right in front of us. And you miss so much by not paying attention. So go back, watch the compensation plan and say, okay, I didn't quite get that. Rewind. That's the beauty of watching it on video, right? Rewind, and then maybe do an example on paper of what David just explained. If he gave you a $10,000 funding example, write it out so that you could calculate it on your own. And I think that's a great way to learn and have a better understanding of how our compensation plan works. So thank you, Harlequin. Good point on the compression there. All right, anybody else? This is a great time for you to ask a question. Hopefully I didn't confuse you more than help with what we covered tonight. I know there's a lot with the healthcare and all of that, but again, it's more of you just going and reading the documents. Randy has his hand up. I'm going to ask you to unmute. Hi, Randy. How are you tonight?
Doing good, Ellen. Just getting my feet wetter and wetter and wetter and all this. It's interesting. I love functionality, and to see all these moving parts just is a real joy to see, and then to see how it all culminates into the product of service and compensation. But before I lose my train of thought, back to the 60, these are kind of elementary questions, but I like to do it because it keeps me kind of engaged here, moving through the processes of everything. The 60 days that are automatically engaged for those that are over 60 days in the company. So does that mean then everybody right now is basically engaged up to March 31st, pretty much?
Well, I understand where that question comes from, and that's a great question, but not exactly, okay? It means everybody could be engaged if they recruit. So it's only that auto-engaged if you're outside of your 60 days being new, or if you're outside of 60 days from your most recent funding, if you have had fundings before and have fallen out of that engagement qualification. That auto-engaged only counts on personally enrolled agents that you have just recruited this month. So they have to be recruited January, February, or March. We did have it the last 3 quarters of last year, but on rolling 30 days, you've already gotten past anybody that you recruited in December, and we're about to be past anybody that you recruited in January, right? So anybody you recruited in the past 30 days, you're automatically engaged on their fundings for their first 30 days. So you would not, that auto-engaged would not qualify you to earn 2nd or 3rd level overrides on your team. It's only on your personally enrolled agents. Does that clarify that? Right.
And like I'm brand new and I've really gone the snail path and all this, but I think it'll be worth it in the long run, because I like what David said. I think this morning I'm putting roots down and plan on being here a while. So basically, like, my scenario is, well, no, I guess I could ask that, but I'm 30 days in today, or I was the 26th, so I'm still automatically engaged.
Correct.
Okay. And I'm getting busier each day as I work through all this. But I think I understand your answer was that for someone like me who's not gotten any clients or any agents yet, that's soon to change, by the way. Uh, if I were to bring someone, if I were 60 days over with nothing, if I brought an agent in, that would automatically engage me. Is that the way that plays out?
You would be automatically engaged on any of their fundings in their first 30 days, but it doesn't automatically engage you on to earn on anybody else. Only
Oh, I
that
see.
new agent.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
only that new agent in
gotcha,
their first 30 days does
gotcha,
that
gotcha.
auto engage promotion apply. Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, let me share this. You're saying you've been here 30 days and you don't have a client yet and you don't have a team yet. Don't worry, you're doing the right things. You're laying the groundwork, you're plugged in, and I see your commitment here, Randy, because of
Yeah,
your attentiveness in these Zooms. And I see that you really want this. So don't
yeah,
let your not having clients yet deter you, because I
right,
personally had a very large team before I got my first funded client. I'd been here
yeah.
several months before I had my first client, but I had several hundred agents on my team. Okay,
Right,
several
right.
hundred. And Harlequin just shared a couple of weeks ago that she had been in the business for quite a while before she had her first funded client, and Harlequin had a very large team growing as well. So there's no right or wrong on which one you do first. I hear new agents say, well, I want to get a client before I start recruiting and really prove to myself that this works. I can prove to you that it works, right? If you just will listen and trust, I can prove to
Right.
you that DAC works, and I can show you testimonial after testimonial of agents who are getting paid because they have gotten funded clients. But you can always play catch up in the compensation plan if you recruit now, whether you're qualified to earn on them or not. As long as your team is growing, you can always come back and play catch up and get yourself qualified to start earning those overrides again. It's not like it passes you by now and it's forever gone. You only miss out on commissions during that one commission cycle if you're not qualified at that time. This is very important what I'm saying, guys. You only miss out on that one snapshot of commission run if you're not qualified at that time. But all you need to do to start catching those and earning those commissions is go get yourself qualified, and then you'll be eligible for those overrides again. I know in some companies and direct selling network marketing companies, they have auto ship products, and they'll have if you don't stay active and don't keep that volume going, they'll do what you call flush the volume if you're not qualified, and it'll flush and completely go away at the end of the month, and then you got to start all over again. Our compensation plan doesn't work that way. It's you get paid on what you're qualified for at the time that it gets paid, and then after it's been paid out, it's like everybody is kind of starting over till you get that next client. So you can always play catch up on those overrides. So I would say go recruit, be on a recruiting blitz, and let's see how many new agents we can bring to the table. Well, that certainly stirred some hand raises here. Randy, did I answer all your questions, or did you have something else?
I'm good, Ellen. And you know, when you really see this for what it is, it's just a matter of time.
Absolutely. And the product line keeps getting better. Our message to market keeps getting better, and our systems keep getting better. So you're right. It is just a matter of time. I'm real glad that you decided to join us, and I appreciate you being here on our team Zooms and asking questions. It's always appreciated. All right. I have Gina with your hand up. I'm going to ask you to unmute. How are you doing tonight, Gina?
Doing good. So
Awesome.
in the back office, you had mentioned if we had 50 with like QV points.
Mhm.
So how can you tell how many points things are worth?
On that compensation document, were you there when I opened up the PDF from the compensation section under the number 3 on the Agent Resource Center?
Right. So like I've recruited 2 people in the last week, and I don't want to miss the opportunity to earn money. So you had mentioned before about buying products through longevity
Right.
to make up for the difference.
Yeah. So if you've recruited new people, if they have not created any business volume, if they don't have fundings, or don't have longevity orders or any of that creates business volume, then you're not missing anything. But you can always look in your back office when you log in, go to your volume totals. Just landing on your dashboard, there's a little calculator that shows volume totals. You can click on that and that'll show you what your organization volumes are, or you can click on it under the genealogy section there as well. But the compensation plan chart that I just showed, page 4 or 5, it breaks down every item that we market on the DAC side of the house and how that volume is calculated. Then if you're looking at longevity, the best way to see what the longevity volume is, because I know there have been many months where I didn't have the funded volume, but I was eligible to earn on my team. So I went in and I placed a nutritional order through longevity. And to see that QV and BV there, if you click on the auto ship order inside of your back office, you can pull up and see all of the listing of all the different products. Personally, the products that I use each and every day, I take their 90 for Life liquid nutrition. It is their tangy tangerine. I drink an ounce of that every day, and I can tell a huge difference in my eyesight when I do not drink that nutritional product. So I love it, and I will always take it because it's really been a game changer for my vision. As I say, I'm not wearing glasses or contacts. I only need reading glasses for small stuff up close with dim light, but I can see great at a distance now. And I used to have trouble with that. So it's made a difference with me. Did you have another question there, Gina? Did that answer your question?
No, that was it. Thank you.
Okay. Hey, I appreciate your input, and I love your professionalism, the way that you're reaching out to your team. Thank you for sharing that, and just trying to help make DAC a better place to be. And that reminds me, today on the DAC recruiting Zoom, it had been brought to my attention that there were some agents out there that were mistitling themselves as they represent DAC. I've seen, and it's been presented, some showing that they are financial advisors with DAC or financial consultants with DAC. Guys, if you are not licensed and you don't have those, you don't have that authority to call yourself a financial advisor, then you're really setting yourself up for trouble. So you can say that you're an independent agent with DAC, independent funding agent with DAC, or a funding specialist with DAC. But when you get into those terms that require state licensing, then you're really, really putting yourself in a bad light. So I wanted to remind everyone of that if you missed that on the call today with David when he touched on that. Okay, I'm going to ask Lecarius to unmute. Did I pronounce that correctly? Can you unmute yourself? You should have an unmute button in front of you. Is that right, Lecarius?
I'm here.
Hey there, am I saying your name right?
You are.
Awesome, I love it. Welcome, glad to have you here tonight. How can I help you?
Can you see me?
I can, yeah.
I'm new to this whole virtual thing.
Yeah, new to Zoom, okay.
What can you help us do to make ourselves better?
What can
Through
I
the
do to help you make yourself better?
Through the company, yes.
I think the thing that you need to do most is to, one, plug into the training and then start implementing the training, right? The thing that's going to make you the best is to start having conversations with people, because you can sit here and absorb, you can be a sponge, and you can have textbook knowledge of everything that we cover in our training. But until you start having conversations with real prospects, you really don't get good. right? It's like watching a car race on TV all the time, and you're seeing them go round and round in the track, and you're watching all the details of it, and you know what that driver's doing, but until you get the car on the track and you start having to maneuver the track and actually shift the gears and go through all the turns yourself, you're not a race car driver. So you're not a DAC agent until you start implementing what we teach. The best way to do that is conversations. Those conversations can start with you doing role playing with a friend or someone on your team, and just having conversations, pretending to be the client or pretending to call a client and doing that role play back and forth. I've done that many times. I've even done that just by myself. When I didn't have someone to practice with years ago, going through the things, I would take the script and I would read the script. I would record myself on audio, listening to how I sounded. And did I sound scripted? I'd play it back and listen over and over again, but just going through the motions. And the more something comes out of your mouth, the more easily it flows. So conversations is going to be the key to your success here. And even if that conversation is through a text message, still having more of those is going to help you be successful, because you'll start learning how to reply, or you'll reply to a text message and say the wrong thing the first time, and you're going, oh, why did I say that? Why didn't I say this? Guess what? That person that you had a conversation with, and you may not have said the right thing, you may have missed an opportunity. That's someone that you didn't have in your business to begin with, or a client that you didn't have in your lineup to begin with. And if you mess it up, that's okay. Just be willing to say, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't do a good explanation, or I'm sorry, I gave you the wrong information. Let me get you in touch with someone that has all the right answers, and move on to the next one, and just keep moving forward. That's the best thing that I can tell you, is one step at a time, and eventually you will get to your destination, as long as you don't quit. Does that help?
It does.
All right. Hey, you're learning this Zoom thing pretty good. You made it on camera. You learned how to raise your hand. Do you have any other questions? Look here.
Like I said, I'm just learning. So, I was in the Navy for 8 years.
Thank you for your
Foreign
service.
tours. I just wanted to learn something new. I have a new team that I'm proud, to know. I'm about to turn 40 years old. And
You're just
so
a baby.
I hear it all the time. Stop.
No, you are, baby. You are just a baby. You just don't know. Congratulations, though. But thank you for your service.
Thank you. But
Absolutely.
I want to thank my team also, because they're training me right now, and like you said, I'm a baby. I don't know, so I'm just trying to learn.
Well, sometimes coming in and acknowledging that and saying, hey, I don't know, teach me, and having that willingness to learn in the first place is really the first steps of being able to learn. So many times people come in and they have a little bit of a background in financial or some type of business background that gives them the sense that they don't need to go through the training here with DAC. They come in with the idea that they already know how all this works because they have a little bit of experience in it. But I beg to differ, because until you dive into how our processes work, which funding product is right for which client, to be able to give them the right information, then you really do need the training. So being open to this and saying that you're just a baby in the process is really your best starting point, because you're coming in here open-minded and not with the attitude that you already know how this works. Because trust me, I talk to agents every single day that think they know how DAC works because they have some funding background or they've been in the financial space for a long time. But trust me, I get off the phone and I'm shaking my head going, oh man, you need to go through training, right? Because they don't know and they haven't taken the time to go through the training process to really learn what they need to know with DAC. So digging in, learning, and being open to that, you're going to do great. You got a great attitude. We're glad you're here.
Thank you. You know, like I'm a after the military. I've been a security officer since. I don't even call myself a security officer. I'm just an adult, super adult baby.
An adult babysitter.
Adult babysitter. That's it. That's it.
I understand. Yeah, I was in the bar business for years. I was a bartender and restaurant manager, and we were definitely adult babysitters. So I get that when you say security guard. Hey, I feel like an adult babysitter sometimes as a team leader here with DAC, but that's okay. And don't get me wrong, I'm not calling you guys babies, but it really is that, because as you're growing up in this, you run into all sorts of things. We not only are dealing with day-to-day issues with business that we're growing through, but sometimes we run into issues where our team has personal problems that they need someone to talk to, and they just need an ear to listen. And we end up doing that as team leaders. So it's all part of the growing up process in business as well, just a part of life. And I'm glad to be a part of it for each of you, whether you're one of those that hadn't gone through the training yet, at least you're in a starting place here tonight, being on this Zoom, if that is you. So I appreciate you showing up. All right. Awesome. Well, I appreciate your comments and questions, Lucarius. Anybody else with questions or comments before we wrap up tonight? I see James with his hand up. I'm going to ask you to unmute. How are you doing tonight, James?
Hey, I'm good as always, no doubt. Hello, everybody. Lucarius, yeah, I remember 42, little brother. I remember that. Okay, yeah, that was a couple of years back. And for Gina, I know you got March Magic up there. I guess you're not a basketball fan because that's supposed to be Madness this month, not Magic, but okay. I wanted to make a couple of comments here that maybe would be helpful for everybody. Ellen, can you help me? I need you to bring up a couple of our tabs, please.
Okay,
Ellen?
what you need?
Bank Breezy first.
Okay, bring up the website.
Yes.
All right, I can do that.
And then everybody would see it, right?
Yeah, let me get back up here to screen share.
Right, yeah, there we go.
And open up a browser window. And I don't have Bank Breezy saved on my favorites because I never use bankbreezy.com. I always use
No.
Capital,
The tab,
right?
the tab.
I use the 25K today tab of.
That's the one. Yep.
Is that what you want instead of bankbreezy.com? Okay.
Yes. The tab right there. Okay, so please scroll down and show how it works.
Okay. All right. So someone comes to your website. We have these Get Funded Now buttons, which are your application pages, right? For someone to apply. Tells you what the minimums are for qualification, talks about the process, simple and fair, get more money when needed. But here it's just to get funded now. If they are needing more than 25K, this page really needs to be updated. And I'm in conversation with Wade about this right now. Bank Breezy and the get up to 25K today is really a marketing slogan. Okay. But if the client is doing 15,000, they haven't updated this on the site. It says 25 plus monthly revenue each of the last 3 months. If you go over to the working capital tab of the site, they've changed it to show that if you're doing 15,000 or more, you can qualify, right? So we need to update that tab of the DAC site. I want to point that out because I've been telling y'all every week, if a client is doing between 5 and 15, send them to Bank Breezy or would I prefer the up to 25K today tab? This is your Bank Breezy page of your David Allen Capital website, right? But if they need more, they can click on that. It's going to take them over to the business funding. But if they apply here on Get Funded, this is going to take them over to our partnership with Biddy Advance. And if you have your information properly in the link with your ID number, it's going to show you as the referring agent here in your agent ID number. Okay. Client's going to go through, fill in this immediate approval 2,000 to 35,000. So it's not just 25 that they can get up to. But if they're getting, anytime I have someone that comes through and I've got an agent saying, hey, I just had someone approved for $25,000 and they're getting this error message, and I'm going 25,000. They went through Bank Breezy, and if they got approved for 25,000, they would qualify on the DAC side of the house. And if they went through DAC instead of Bank Breezy, they're going to get multiple offers instead of just one lender, and they're potentially going to get offered a line of credit. We're going to be looking at their whole financial picture to see how many different lenders are willing to make an offer for them and that line of credit potentially for them. But if they go through Biddy Advance, it's just one lender. We've got them in that one narrow search. We do have a it's not really a funnel. Wade mentioned this, but it doesn't happen instantaneously. So that if someone comes through, that if they're doing over 15,000, it goes over to DAC and gives our internal team an opportunity to take a second look at that file to see if we can get them different offers. But I think many times, if you're sending someone to Bank Breezy that's doing over 15,000 a month, if they don't like the offer that they're presented with immediately, they're off and on to somebody else before we even have an opportunity to send them through DAC. So if you're not sending them to DAC first, you're making a mistake if they're doing over 15,000. Was there something else specifically on this that you wanted to see, James? Because I can't get through further without starting to fill in the application.
Yeah, I'll go back to the tab. Okay, and bring it down to where right there was just how does it work? Okay, a lot of new people always have, you know, that question that everybody had, you know, what do I say to these people? You know, I don't know what to say to people. Okay, if you look at the way this is set up right here, if you're simply able to go through this information right here with your potential customer, you don't have to know what to say. You just have to go through this information right here with them. You just go right down the list with them. But the thing is, you got to get them to this page so that you can go through the information with them. Now, in column 4 right there where it says get more when needed, to me, for everyone, what's really important about that column is the first one and the last one. Payment history earns you more, and a personalized account manager.
Yes.
Okay. DAC is in the business of helping businesses position themselves so whenever they need money, they can get money. You understand what I'm saying? Whenever they need money, they can get money. That's what we do. We help them position themselves. We're lower than anybody out there, 5,000 a month with a 450, okay? And all these other things that go on right here that you just go over with the potential client. Now, the last one there says personalized account manager. None of those business owners out there, unless they're doing major money, got any kind of personalized account manager at their bank, if they even have somebody to talk to at the bank on a first name basis.
Absolutely.
We help them to get to that point. The reason that I wanted to go over this first is because if you can understand what this little section right here is, one page, is so beautiful. Whenever you talk about anything having to deal with Bank Breezy, Okay, when you get them to this tab, and Ellen's going to go through why that's so beautiful in a minute after we get done here. Okay, but no, stay down there, stay down there.
Okay.
Okay, she's going to share why you know, the tab is better than the bankbreezy.com in her mind and mine. But anyway, okay. But the thing is this, the point I'm trying to make is this little information right here, you don't know what to say. You're nervous. You're 2 minutes in the business, just got in, don't know what to do. You've been through the 3 training videos. You don't know what to say, but you want to get out there and try to do something to get some kind of activity going on. This is all you got to understand. I got to show them this page, go through the page with them, and then leave it to them to fill out the app. Okay, now let's go to line of credit. Okay.
Okay.
Now, this is the same thing. Don't move it. Don't move it yet. Don't move it yet. Just leave it right there. Okay. As soon as the page opens, what does it say? Business line of credit, have funds available when you need them most. If you got your potential customer on this page and you just read that out loud to them, okay? Business line of credit for you and your business. Have funds available when you need them most. When the banks can't help you, we can. Okay. Now, if you go down to that first little section right there, there's 3 columns there: simple and fast, fueling business growth, better fee structure. Now, when you read those first 2 columns with someone, you know, the first one is pretty self-explanatory. The second one, fueling business growth, we specialize. We're talking about DAC here with the client. We're just reading the page. We specialize in small business, and we want to secure you. Look at the wording on this thing. We want to secure you a line of credit to help fuel your business. Now, you remember back there on Bank Breezy, okay, it talk about your personalized account manager, right? Well, look at column 4 right here, better fee structure. Simple to understand, draw funds and balance fees with 0 penalties and big savings for early payoff. Okay, now you figure, well, gee, you know, do I have to explain all of this? No, you don't have to explain this. You do the same thing that you would have done in Bank Breezy. Refer the people to their account manager, okay? All those details, once you go through the process and get, we'll provide full disclosure. Your account manager is going to do that for you. Okay, there we go, right there. Bring it up a little. Okay, hold it right there. All right, now, Randy, you're, I think you're in construction, right? You can just nod your head, I can see you. Okay, your background is construction. Okay, now, notice how this is. There's 4 columns here. The one on the left talks about $100,000. Okay, that's, you know, that's a big number. A lot of people, you know, don't necessarily resonate with $100,000, but anyway. Okay, so the next one, the second one says, take out as needed. You can now draw. See, here's this wording again. You're talking to this person, they're looking at it right here. Mr. Business Owner, you can now draw all or portions of money as needed up to the approval amount. You have up to 1 year to repay any draws that you take out. Well, okay, we're talking about the 1 year right here. We got 6, 9, and 12 months. Well, David has explained in all the explanations that he's done that the longer they run it out, like out to 12 months, okay, the monthly payment is going to be lower. Okay, but now if that question comes up when you're reading this column to them, you tell them again. Okay, your account manager is going to explain all the details of that. You don't have to tell them about the 3% or the 0.69 and the 1.3. You don't even have to go into that. Okay, as soon as we get you approved, because we want to help you position yourself where you can get money when you need money. Okay. Now, when we go to the next one, you're talking about automatic weekly repayment. Well, that could again get into you having to answer a whole bunch of questions, but you're going to still send them to, at the end, Your account manager is going to go through all of the details of that, okay? Because I don't know the details because, you know, the rates are fluctuating all the time, okay? But you can prepay with 0 penalties and big savings. These words are just so absolutely beautiful, okay? And then the last one, new draws and revolving limit. Draw more money out as needed up to the approval amount. Your weekly payment is adjusted to cover repayment of the new balance. As you pay back, those funds become available again to use. Well, remember Bank Breezy back over there in the 4th column, the top line, it said, you build a healthy payback. That's how a lot of things happen. Number one, they're already in the system. If we can get them a line of credit, they're already approved. Ellen just got through explaining that the way after tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, okay, once they fill out the letter of credit, I meant the line of credit information, okay, they're going to get to, well, the understanding I have is that not all of them, but most of them, or at least a lot of them, will give the 2 quotes to these people, the merchant advance and the line of credit. Well, the thing is, this right here tells them that as you pay it back, this is the line of credit, those funds become available again. If you use an example, for example, a guy's got a 20,000 line of credit. He needs 10 to start this job, okay? Well, he's now got 10,000 in his hand that he can use and 10,000 in there. Well, he does the job, he makes 20,000, all right? So now he can pay back the 10 that he took out on the line of credit, and he still got, let's see, 3%, okay. Okay, let's say he's got 8,000, all right, or 7,000 profit, and he's now paid it off. And this right here has said it. As you pay it back, those funds become available again. So not only is he up 7,000, the line of credit went back to 20 again, all right? Okay, scroll down a little bit, please. More. Okay, now we get to the qualifications. Okay, now we get to the qualifications right here. Okay, now we know these are minimums to make it look good. The 1 year and the 550. Okay, now when Wade get done with us tomorrow night, it might be, you know, where, you know, we have that 2 years, 20,600. So you know, it just depends on, you know, how all that's going to shake out after tomorrow night. But the only point I'm trying to make here is this. Ellen can explain how to get your potential client to any of these tabs very safely, very easily, and make sure that your name and ID number is on the page when they click the Get Qualified Now. But all you got to do is understand, this is you talking to yourself. All I got to do is get them to the page and read the page to them. Okay, now, Randy. Okay, real quick. All I want to say is this. In the construction industry, you know the language, my friend. You know their language. Whatever the job is, a plumbing job, a remodel, any of that. You also know the procedure that goes on, the upfront cost that they got to make, the upfront cost that they got to pay to do a job. You know how those numbers work. So when you're talking to a guy, you already know that if the job requires 15,000 just to get the supplies, but he's gonna make 50 on the job, okay, he's gonna be up what's that, 35? Okay. You already know how to talk to him about that and how the line of credit fits in with that. Plus, he's able to build his cash flow, right, without risking any assets that he already got. If he got money in the savings, he can leave it over there. If he got a little surplus in the checking account, he can leave it over there, okay? Take the money from his line of credit, do the job, make the profit, pay the whole thing off, and then flip it again.
And again and again, just like the client that Harlequin gave the example of, where they've got 189,000 in their accounts receivable, yet they're doing 35 to 40,000 a month. They've got huge need that they'll be able to pay that down, flip it, shorten the term that they have that money out there on that line of credit and be able to shorten the amount that money is costing them. So thank you for that great training, James. I appreciate that. Good job. We'll have to bring you in a spotlight on there. You did a great job covering everything. Did you have any other questions before we go on? We've got several can't even talk. Got a couple more hands raised and some questions in the chat that we need to address.
Cool.
That-
Okay.
That got you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Thank you, James. Good job covering all that. Okay, I've got Paula. I'm going to ask you to unmute, and I'm going to take this off of screen share. Paula, can you unmute yourself?
Hi,
Hello.
welcome. Good evening. So first of all, I just wanted to, I hope she's still on. I wanted to welcome, I got a new recruit. Her name's Lashana. I hope I'm saying it correctly, but I'm excited
Awesome.
about her. So I wanted to welcome her, but I have a question myself. You were saying about being engaged is being extended till the end of March and all of that. And I know like we have to be qualified with so many points. Now, does that include that time? Do we still have to have that, whatever it is, 50, 12, or whatever it is? Yeah.
They're two different things, two different
Okay.
qualifications. Engaged is your ability to earn funding bonus overrides or revenue, matching revenue on personally enrolled agents and on your team. Okay.
Okay.
And there are 3 ways to be engaged. You're either in your first 60 days as a new
Yep.
agent, you have a new client or a renewal client, and then that starts your 60-day clock, or you can have 6 active customer finance clients, and that considers you engaged. And with this new promotion, it counts you as in if you're not any of those 3 engaged statuses that I just listed, not within your first 60 days, don't have 6 customers, and don't have a funded client. If you're not engaged that way, this promotion allows you to enroll new agents, and on their first any clients that they get in their first 30 days, then you would get paid as engaged and earn that enroller bonus on them.
Okay. So I can get something by not having any clients just yet if it's in the
Correct.
first 30 days.
Yeah, if those people are producing and bringing clients on board, or if they're bringing clients and you want to earn in the residual plan, that's where that 50 points comes into play, as to whether you're going to get that residual check from longevity or not. The engaged status qualification is strictly for those override revenue share bonuses.
Okay. I think I've got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, good question. Thank you. I'm sure you weren't the only one with that question.
Yeah,
And
we were getting close. I was like waiting to see if somebody said it, and then nobody does. Like, let me ask this. And then last but not least, yeah, James, that was like brilliant. His training was great. So that was really helpful. So
good
thank
stuff.
you. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, Paula. All right. Somebody else had their hand up, but they have lowered it now, so we must have answered it in the Q&A, or they had to go. All right. Anything in the chat there, Harlequin, that has been unaddressed?
I'm gonna share my screen for just 1 second, because a lot of people have this question, and I went ahead and opened this up. So let me see if I can get the correct one here.
And what was that question?
It's on the ordering. Oops, that's not the one that I want. People don't know where to find it. So can you see my screen?
Yes.
Oops.
Yep. I see your back office there.
Actually, just a second. That's not the right one. It says I'm paused. Just a second, it pulled up the wrong one. That's the one that I want. Share. Okay. If you go on to your Agent Resource Center, down at the very bottom, well, not almost the very bottom, is the DAC Longevity Back Office login. You would click on that. And then
And that's from the Agent Resource Center, right?
yes, from the Agent
Okay.
Resource Center, where you've got 1, 2, and 3 up at the top. You're going to log in and it's going to come up to this page. Now, you had mentioned the auto ship. It's actually better to do a new order, because otherwise auto ship, it will automatically send you that same order every 30 days. So you can either go to new order over here, or you can go to new order of the grocery cart right there.
Mhm.
And to make it easier, I pulled it up. And then there's all these different companies that Longevity has purchased. So they have a ton of different things. The easiest way is to go and type it in here. The product that you were talking about is the tangerine.
Mhm.
And pulled up the wrong one.
Yeah, it's under the Longevity 90 for Life brand. And
Which is not there.
yeah, they're there they're in the healthy body packs, but I ordered the 4-pack of the tangy tangerine liquid. So I don't
Well,
order it every month. I'll order it periodically just so I have it on hand all the time, because I'm usually qualified every month with other points. And if you
yeah.
have at least 300, then you're qualified for all of it. They make that product in a powder, and then the liquid, and then the
There's the liquid is down here on the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
and then they've got canisters as well as individual servings. But since there were multiple people asking about it,
Mm-hmm.
so I figured we can show them where that is. So
Awesome.
okay. And I see Cindy has her hand raised.
Yeah, if you want to do that, I'm going to grab my bottle. So go ahead. And what do you have for us, Cindy? If you'll unmute her and let her ask her question.
Okay.
Hey,
Go ahead,
thank
Cindy.
you. This is excellent training. On the line of credit on our website, I was trying to get familiar with all of it today. And on it, if you scroll down towards the bottom, it says something about in all states, but it has an asterisk. And I know at the beginning, they said, well, not in California, New Jersey, and 7 other. I don't know what the asterisk means anymore.
Okay. Yeah, there are
And that's
6
it.
states that were originally we could not do line of credit in, but when all of the other lenders found out that we were starting this program, literally within less than a week, we had that restriction taken away. But those 6 states, you have to be in business for at least 2 years rather than the 1 year.
Okay.
And
All
you
right,
have
thanks.
you have to have the 600 credit score rather than the 550.
Okay, and then I just wanted to tell everyone that James did such a good job on that training, especially part of my work background is working in a construction company, and they have all these different phases, and they have to, like you said, you have to buy material and the labor before you can even build the house to complete that, to get another draw. And then and as a probation officer, I later on had someone who was in a pinch like that, and he didn't know about DAC. So he took money from another job and paid, and he ended up on my prison caseload. So don't do that. Just do DAC instead.
There you go.
But anyway, it was really
Well, the other
good
thing
training.
about that is right now in construction, I know this from going to all the home builder meetings, they're now having to go and order products or supplies 6 months out.
Yeah,
Whereas
because
before
of
they
the
order it, couple weeks or a month at most. And, they're having to pay for it up front.
so that line of credit, that's gold in a lot of places, but especially with that. Anyway, thank you. You guys are great.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
awesome. Thanks, Cindy. Thanks for the question. Hey, I went and got my bottle out of the refrigerator here. This is an amazing product for me. If you aren't familiar with our founder at Longevity, then I encourage you to go Google Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Dr. Wallach wrote that speech and it was on audio for the longest time. But if you'll do a little bit of research about the founder of Longevity, Dr. Wallach, you'll be amazed at his knowledge and the quality of ingredients that go into our products and the specific ingredients that go into our product because of his background as a veterinarian. So good stuff, but tangy tangerine liquid, I live by it every day. If I go a couple of days and have been busy and not taken that product, I can start telling an immediate difference in my eyesight. So thank you all for being here. Any other questions or comments before we wrap up? Cindy, I think I didn't lower your hand earlier. If you had another question, I just lowered your hand. You can raise it again. But Harlequin, did we have questions in the chat that we did not address?
No, there were a couple of basic questions that I went ahead and answered in the chat. So
Okay.
there's nothing that hasn't been answered in there.
Awesome.
Yeah, and Sherry just said there's a video about Dr. Wallach on longevity.com. I've actually had the pleasure of meeting him and his wife and his son and daughter-in-law. So yeah, a wealth of knowledge there, most definitely.
Yep. Good stuff. All right, guys. Well, thank y'all. I look forward to seeing you guys all on our Zoom tomorrow night as we do First Tuesday, starting at 8 p.m. with a business opportunity, and then 9 p.m. updates on line of credit, our new one-page application that, fingers crossed, will be totally online starting tomorrow, and many more updates with new healthcare products and so on coming down the pike with new training. So thank you again for being here. I appreciate you all. I appreciate your tenacity, and I appreciate you showing up, because showing up is 80% of life. So let's get after it. Let's go have a recruiting blitz this month, and I'll see you on tomorrow night's Zoom. Thanks, everyone. Have a great evening.